An OU study abroad program is sending students home. Plus, Israel sees its third election in less than a year, and the coronavirus is putting American lives at risk. This is OU Nightly. Hello, and welcome to OU Nightly. I'm Colby Terrell.
And I'm Chloe Sparks. 15 hours before the polls open on Super Tuesday, and there is a major shakeup among the candidates for the Democratic nomination for president.
That's right, Pete Buttigieg announced he was withdrawing from the race Sunday night. Just hours ago, Amy Klobuchar also bowed out. OU Nightly's Lindsay Gibbs is following this story and joins us live from the Cleveland County Democratic headquarters with what's next.
Hey, good afternoon. Pete Buttigieg was expected to make a campaign stop in Oklahoma City this morning. Instead, him and Amy Klobuchar will be headed to Dallas, where they will join Joe Biden at a rally to endorse him. Now, it is said that many hope to see Klobuchar take her home state, Minnesota, away from Bernie Sanders on Super Tuesday. But because early voting has already taken place, the late dropouts will impact the polls.
Is also a really interesting question, and we'll see that tomorrow, because none of our polls are going to tell us that answer, right? None of them are dealing with the fact that there have been so many dropouts of people who are capturing together 25 to 30% of the vote.
And with Klobuchar and Buttigieg out of the race, the Democratic nominees are now the three Bs: Bernie, Bloomberg, and Biden, along with Oklahoma's native Elizabeth Warren. Be sure to tune into our special election coverage for Super Tuesday beginning tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'm Lindsay Gibbs reporting live in front of the Democratic nominee right here in Norman. Back to you guys.
The University of Oklahoma is canceling its overseas programs in Italy. This is due to the widespread concern of the coronavirus. OU Nightly's Claire Easley has more.
Last night, OU students in the Italy program learned that they would be packing their bags and heading back to the States. OU released this statement earlier this morning saying all programs in Arezzo and others in Italy are canceled effective Thursday, March 5th at 5 p.m. Italy time.
Now, OU has said that students and employees will not be able to return on campus or any off-campus U.S. sites until they complete this three-step process.
Steps include complete medical screening, a 2-week isolation period, and a follow-up telephone screening. This program cancellation comes after several schools like Villanova University, University of Georgia, and many others canceled or suspended their programs in other places, including South Korea, China, and Italy.
We tried contacting students who are currently abroad in Italy, but they were not able to reach out with a comment.
And now Abby Bennett joins us in the News Center with more on how the coronavirus is affecting the rest of the U.S. and other national headlines.
Thank you, Colby. 4 more people in the Seattle area have died after contracting the coronavirus. This brings the total number of deaths in the U.S. to 6. There are at least 91 cases of the illness in the U.S., and health officials have confirmed the first cases in Florida, New York, and Rhode Island. The coronavirus illness is likely to continue to spread in the United States. Worldwide, more than 3,000 have died from the virus, and there has been 90,000 cases confirmed. And after 2 failed tries, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is hoping to win another term today. This is the 3rd election in less than a year. Netanyahu has been in office for more than a decade and is Israel's longest-serving prime minister. However, there are factors that could work against him. He has been indicted on bribery and fraud charges, and his corruption trial is scheduled to begin in 2 weeks. And for the first time, the U.S. Census will be held primarily online this year. This comes amidst heightened concerns about cybersecurity and technical troubles. Starting March 12th, households are expected to be able to participate in the national headcount by visiting my2020census.gov to complete the questionnaire, which will be open until July 31st. This comes under efforts to cut costs and keep up with the increasingly internet-centric times. And guys, for those who have limited internet access or otherwise cannot fill out the form online, the Bureau is also collecting responses over the phone or on paper. Back to you guys.
Well, the weather was looking good all weekend, Colby, and Hannah Gard is standing by with a look at our Oklahoma weather.
Yep, Hannah, how does it look?
Walking around campus today, it's really starting to feel like springtime in Oklahoma. We've seen nothing but sunshine and blue skies, just a couple of clouds up there, but what we've really been feeling throughout the day today is that temperature change from this weekend. We were soaring into the high 70s on Sunday, and now our current temperatures across the state are sitting in the high 50s. Right now, we're at 57 degrees in Norman, 60 in Guyman in the Panhandle, and where that cold front hasn't quite moved through yet, we're seeing 70s in the far southeastern part of the state. If we take a look at our 24-hour temperature change map, you can really see where that cold front hasn't quite moved through yet, with our temperatures still warmer in yellow, but across the board, blue temperatures there. We're about 20 degrees cooler here in Norman than we were this time yesterday. Coming up later in the newscast, Martin will have this cool front that we've seen move through. The next system that we could see into tomorrow night and Wednesday, bringing us our next chances of rainfall, and after that he'll have where our temperatures will be sitting throughout the rest of the week. This is coming up later in the newscast. For now, Chloe and Colby, back to you.
Now Americans are looking for a way to avoid the spread of the coronavirus, but the high-volume search for masks might not be as helpful as it seems.
Plus, candidates for the Democratic primary election are spending more and more on campaign ads. When we return. As we reported earlier, the coronavirus epidemic is spreading and having an economic impact beyond the immediate health concerns. With the number of coronavirus cases increasing every day, medical experts have specific worries. OU Nightly's Tori King spent a few days in California where CDC officials confirmed 2 more cases.
Empty shelf after empty shelf after empty shelf. Problems that are sweeping the country faster than the coronavirus include both a medical face mask shortage and price gouging. This comes after the U.S. saw its first 2 corona-linked deaths over the weekend, both in Washington state. People are rushing to stores like Home Depot, Rite Aid, Target, Lowe's, CVS, and Walgreens, all of which are struggling to keep up with the demand. This type of purchasing behavior is happening in more states than just California. In fact, it's happening in Oklahoma too. Experts are warning the public about counterfeit N95 respirator masks and price gouging. Websites like Amazon have already started shutting down suppliers they've found guilty. Despite the high demand, government officials say face masks are not necessary if you're healthy.
We've contracted now with 3M to 35 million more masks per month. The average American does not need to go out and buy a mask.
Just Saturday, Jerome M. Adams, the Surgeon General, urged the public to stop buying the masks. In a tweet, he warns they are not effective in preventing people from catching the virus, and the shortage is stopping healthcare professionals from getting the masks for sick patients and themselves. Oklahoma Congressman Tom Cole says these types of outbreaks are exactly what Congress prepares for. In fact, he says the National Institute of Health's budget has been expanded by nearly 40%. Congress will, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, give the administration supplemental funds. The administration has made a request for an additional $2.5 billion. They will clearly get that. I suspect they will get more than that. In Los Angeles, Tori King, OU Nightly.
Health experts say the masks are useful for people who are already sick. However, the best way to protect yourself from the virus is by frequently washing your hands, coughing into your elbow or sleeve, and avoiding large crowds.
Super Tuesday is just a day away, and candidates have been preparing for the big election day with TV ads. Some, like billionaire Democratic candidate Mike Bloomberg, have spent the most money in hopes of getting those votes. Gaylord News' Miranda Mahmood tells us more about his continuing increase of TV ad spending.
To beat Trump and have the wealthy.
Since the kickoff of his presidential bid in November, Bloomberg is projected to spend $528 million on advertising until Super Tuesday.
Big gay ice cream is the best.
The former New York City mayor and business mogul dominated Oklahoma airwaves with an estimated $2.79 million. Steyer comes in second with ad spending, with an estimated total of $29,000 in Oklahoma. Bloomberg has much more airtime and ad spending than any other Democratic candidate. The extensive spending on ads has helped Bloomberg launch him to where he is now, even after skipping the first 4 contests in the nation. However, Sooner poll shows that Biden led at a little over 21% and Bloomberg fell slightly behind at 19.8%. With more coverage on the airwaves and very little on the road to the White House, as elections unfold, the Bloomberg takeover on TV will show how much of an impact it really has with winning. Miranda Mahmood, Gaylord News.
In Colby, one school decided to take an extended break from their cheer and dance programs. Fast forward 10 years later, and they're now sitting on multiple titles.
Plus, Martin Lauermore has another look at today's weather. What do you have for us, Martin?
Today definitely has been beautiful. Had a bit of a cool off, but are we going to have a change in the future? Kick it there after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Today has been not as warm as it was yesterday. Yesterday, we got into the mid to upper 70s here in Norman. I think we got up to about 78 degrees, very warm. Today, not so much. Right now, we're sitting at about 57. We do have some of those clouds starting to roll in. Oklahoma still is sitting clear, but we did have a kind of a front move through. Those winds are starting to shift from out of the south toward the west. We're going to start seeing some of those more north winds coming in. Current temperatures right now, again, in those upper to mid 50s. There is a bit of a pocket in the southeastern part of the state where they're still in the 70s. You could tell where this is a very defined cold front, where there is a definite difference between cold and warm for this part of the state. You can definitely tell in the 24-hour forecast. Negative 21 from 24 hours here in Norman. Idabel getting even warmer from yesterday with 2 degrees more. You can absolutely tell where it's at coming from with these winds. You could start to see more of the winds coming in from the north here in central Oklahoma, but still the winds are coming out of the south in the eastern part of the state. Getting the evening planner, not going to cool off all that much. The wind will be light, the clouds will remain, keeping us a little warm, probably going to stay in the mid to upper 40s as we go into tonight. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. Those clouds will linger, but we're still going to be sitting in the mid to upper 60s tomorrow. Rain chances on Tuesday and Wednesday, very light here in Norman, but the very extreme south and eastern part of the state is going to see possibly upwards to about an inch of rain. So definitely going to be getting a bit more rain tomorrow. As we go into the 2 to 7 day forecast, we will be cooling off. The winds will be light tomorrow. As we move into Wednesday, the rain showers will end by morning and evening hours. And as we get into Thursday and Friday, the mid 60s, mid to low 60s will be sitting around. And I'd say for the rest of the week, we'll be sitting pretty.
All right. Thank you, Martin. And the Northeastern Oklahoma A&M college cheer and dance teams are back home after a successful nationals in California. OU Nightly's Talon Forbes attended one of their first practices back to see what their plans are for the future.
The NEO cheer and dance teams have high hopes for next year after bringing home not 1, but 2 national champion titles.
Hip Hop Cheer College, give it up for Northeastern Oklahoma.
Just that once-in-a-lifetime feeling of knowing that we had made history to bring back here to NEO. There was no other feeling like that in the world.
These wins come after both teams haven't competed in 10 years.
They've went through several changes, and I think they've had different coaches that maybe have had a different vision. Anna and I have coached together for 10 years, and so when we chose to do this venture together, it was definitely on our list of something that we wanted to do within the 3 years.
Now having 2 wins under their belt, the cheer and dance teams don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
It's something that I don't think we'll give up now. I think some of them, especially our kids coming back, feel like they have something to prove, and they would love nothing more than a repeat.
With Anna and Nita coaching, another decade of not competing doesn't seem to be on their list. Talon Forbes, OU Nightly.
Several students on both teams will be graduating this semester, leaving spots to fill during their tryouts in early May. And OU men's basketball picked up a big win on Saturday, Colby.
Yeah, the Sooners also have a matchup with those rival Texas Longhorns coming up. Sophia Olivas is taking the point in sports.
Yeah, the Sooners are keeping the name in the tournament conversation. And speaking of another tournament, one OU pitcher made history in the Shiner Tournament in Houston. We'll have that for you and more when sports returns. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Sophia Olivas, and we're ready for sports. This weekend, the OU men's baseball team made history against LSU. Here you see pitcher Dane Acker's last out against the Tigers to nab the first no-hitter since 6 pitchers combined for one in 2005. OU Nightly's Parker Thune was there in Houston.
Sooners here at the Shriners Classic, and it ends in historic fashion. Right-hander Dane Acker becomes the first Oklahoma pitcher to toss a no-hitter since 2005 as he turns the trick in the final game of the weekend for the Sooners here against the LSU Tigers. LSU starter A.J. Labus actually had a no-hitter of his own, at least until the 8th inning, when Justin Mitchell goes big fly, gets all of this one, sends it into the Crawford boxes for Oklahoma's first hit and first run of the game. And that would be all Acker would need. On to the 9th we go. Acker, 3-2 to West Tubes, freezes him with the heater on the inside corner. And here it is on his 118th and final pitch. Acker gets the bouncer from Milazzo. Zaragoza makes the throw, and it's over. Dane Acker, welcome to Sooner lore. Now, while Acker's gem is no doubt the biggest cause for celebration on the weekend, what's perhaps more important on the large scale is that the Sooners have proven they can play with the big boys. They defeated 2 collegiate powerhouse programs in LSU and Arkansas, and they've got another tough test on the slate tomorrow when they take on Dallas Baptist at L. Mitchell Park. First pitch is at 6:30. From Houston, Parker Thune, OU Nightly.
All right, thanks, Parker. From the diamond to the court, it looks like men's basketball is getting back on track. They beat West Virginia 73-62 on Saturday, making it their 2nd win in a row. Christian Doolittle and Brady Manick teamed up once again, putting up a combined 34 points to take it home. Now, while the men might be heating up, the women seem to be just on a 6-game losing streak. In an OU-Texas matchup in Austin, Maddie Williams led the pack with 25 points and 8 rebounds. Even with the loss, Taylor Robertson made history, sinking her 123rd three-pointer of the season. Now on the mat, women's gym was back at it again, and a familiar face competed in the all-around. After not competing against Stanford, Maggie Nichols returned to the lineup against Denver on Saturday. Olivia Troutman scored yet another perfect 10 on vault, and Nichols followed with a near-perfect 9.975. After it was all said and done, Maggie walked away with the all-around title. And for more Sooner sports news, be sure to check out tonight's Sooner Sports Pad show. Meredith Mulkey is here with a preview. Meredith?
Thanks, Sophia. We have a big night planned. A pair of star wrestlers will join us in the studio. We'll discuss whether the men's basketball team is still on the bubble or not, and meet gymnastics superstar Gage Dyer. That's tonight at 7:30 on Fox Sports Oklahoma. And if you missed that one, you can catch the replay right here tomorrow on OU TV after our newscast. Back to you, Sophia.
All right, thanks, Meredith. And in Indiana, the Butler Bulldogs welcomed the 4th Butler Blue onto the court as they retired Blue the 3rd in a changing of the colors ceremony. Now, you guys, I follow a lot of cute dog videos, and this might be one of the top ones I've seen.
I especially love the color exchange. When they put it on the baby bulldog, it looks so big on him.
Watch this. Look.
Can't
Chloe,
fit into his dad's clothes.
You have a bulldog of your own, don't you, Chloe?
I do, and they are absolutely the cutest things.
They're so chunky.
That's who I'd want cheering me on. Thank you,
Sophia.
Of course.
And watch out, hall monitors. You might be unemployed soon.
Get out of the way because Robo Hall Monitor is here to make you stay. In class, that is. Up next on OU Nightly.
I'm Tyler DeLuca at the OU Nightly Update Desk. With over $1 million in school funds in the balance, State Superintendent of Public Instruction Joy Hoffmeister is requesting that Oklahoma's congressional delegation fight for the schools. The U.S. Department of Education has changed the standard, determining if schools in the rural and low-income schools program will receive aid, which will take the number of eligible schools in Oklahoma from 144 to 82. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
If you're one to skip class, you might have a harder time than usual at Lockhart Middle School in Orlando, Florida. Bob is a robot built by STEM students at Lockhart.
This RoboCop is patrolling hallways on campus with the objective of keeping kids in class. And with its 7-foot stature, I know I sure wouldn't want to run in with Bob.
Yeah, I sure would not. He'd be 2 feet taller than me. What about you, Martin?
I've seen enough sci-fi movies to know where this is going. But he seems like he's pretty docile, so I think it'd be pretty good right now. Well, for the rest of this week, looking like she's going to be sitting pretty for the rest of the week. Mid-60s, lower 60s for that duration of the week. We do have a couple of rain chances on Tuesday and Wednesday, and another system moving in on Sunday and Monday. But for majority of the week and in the weekend, I'd say we're doing pretty good.
I'm finally glad to get away from the sleet, snowy weather.
I like it, but hey, what can you do?
So I can wear shorts soon, correct?
You could have yesterday. We were in the 70s yesterday.
I'm wearing a dress today, but
awesome.
I mean,
Thanks for tuning in to OU Nightly. We're live every weekday from Gaylord Hall on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
See y'all tomorrow.